Welcome to the Distracted Driving Podcast. I'm Sean Genovese.
I'm Rex Williams.
And for once, Rex did not refer to me as SeanGenovese.com.
That was just once. For once.
No,
and
you've done
once.
it a couple of times, I think.
It was Distracted Driving Podcast.com.
It all gets you to the same place, thankfully.
Yeah.
We got another good one here. A little change of pace, but we're going to continue our conversation with Brian Brooks, and we're going to welcome you to Jackson's 3D world.
Oh, yeah. His son is so awesome. I mean, this is like genius what he does with his son to like teach him things. Such a great episode.
I have sound effects. We're going to introduce you to Jackson's 3D world. Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Yeah, in front of a live studio audience.
All right.
Button.
So I think the title for this one, tell me what you think. I think we're going to call this, It's Gotten a Little Out of Hand with the Jingle.
With the jingle?
With the jingle. Yeah. It's gotten a little out of hand.
Oh, right, because he does the jingle.
With the jingle.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, I watched. I went to his YouTube channel.
I did too. Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, it's great. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's like, it kind of blows my mind when the kids, like super young kids, like this is all they know. Like this is what you do.
Right.
And it's not like a new technology thing. It's just like we're doing podcasts. That's what we do. We use the internet and we print things. We print 3D print things. And what's the big deal, Dad?
I mean, right?
It's
the big deal?
It's not like your refrigerator is such a new technology. Ooh, look at this refrigerator.
Yeah, so for those of you with kids, this is a good episode, or if you have nieces or nephews, even brothers or sisters.
Yeah.
How do you get
interested?
How do you get an 8-year-old off of Roblox?
Maybe
as
that
my
should be the title.
As my 12-year-old daughter stares at me, how do you get a 12-year-old off of Roblox? I'm going to have her listen to this one.
Yeah, the answer is in this episode.
The answer is here.
Answer to all your child-raising issues.
And we're going to let you get to it here in just a moment. But, I have a question that's been rolling around in my head. Where should we be sending people if they want to interact with the show? Do we encourage interaction with the show? It's not a call-in show.
Sure. It's not live broadcast. It's recorded. Where they make comments and stuff.
Yeah, one of the drawbacks to syndication is now there's all these different places you could go to leave a review or to leave a comment, which we certainly encourage people to do. We actually haven't yet, but we are now. We are officially encouraging people.
You can comment now.
To go review. Well, at least leave a review. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can click the 5-star button. You can click the 4-star button, but we don't recommend it. You can click the 3-star button, but that would be silly. I mean,
so in all these syndication places, they can do a review or something.
Yeah. Most of them, I think. I'm not confident enough to say all of them. But you can also go to the website, distracteddrivingpodcast.com, and we have a like button, I think is what it's called.
Is there comments? Can you do comments?
And I have I turned the comments on? I think I did start turning the comments on.
Yeah, let's do comments there. I mean, you could do it on YouTube too.
You could do it on YouTube. Yeah, but we know nobody's watching on YouTube because I've seen the view stats, and I think it's you and me. And I don't know. Is your mom watching? Is my mom watching?
Well, the kids do the YouTube, but I guess it's more visual.
Yeah,
stuff.
they're all on the gram now.
Well, no, TikTok. Hey, maybe we should go on TikTok.
No, we're not going to go on TikTok. But you know what?
TikTok.
You know what we probably will start doing here in the near future is maybe some brief snippets of the show, some highlights that we could
TikTok
post
snippets
on Instagram, and then people could share. And
YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, there you go. Just get a little taste.
Yeah. It will be on there.
So yeah, if you do feel compelled to interact, you can email us at distracteddrivingpodcast@gmail.com. You can go to the website and click on any of the episodes and leave a comment. You can go on YouTube and leave a comment. But the reviews, I think we need to start encouraging reviews, positive ones. If you got a 1-star review, maybe just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, keep it to yourself.
Or is this
We're
one of
not
those?
open for
Is this one of those cases where no publicity is bad? No, no publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah, so any publicity is good.
Right.
And remember, it's only going to hurt for 5 seconds.
That's right. It's
We'll move on.
Ouch. Okay, now what do we do? All right, fine. Go leave us a 1-star review if you need to, but we prefer 5. If you do leave us a 1-star review, then leave us a comment. Tell us why. What could we do better?
Yeah.
And if you say shorter intros, well, probably not going to do that.
That's probably... We're going to give ourselves that comment.
But you can ask.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think without further ado, it's episode 9. It's gotten a little out of hand with the jingle.
Listen to it.
Enjoy the conclusion of our conversation with our good friend, Mr. Brian Brooks.
Words matter.
Yeah. I'm going to change the subject a little bit.
Okay.
If I may.
Do it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Would you like to change the subject?
It's our show. We're going to do it. I would. I'd like to change the subject. In fact, I'm going to. So you post a lot. So you work a 410 schedule, and I know that because of your
10 hours a
postings,
day for 4 days in a row.
Yes.
Yes.
Or 4 days
Every
in a row.
Friday.
Just
Every
making that
Friday
clear
I
for
get
her.
off. It's fantastic.
Every Friday off, and you spend a lot of those Fridays at your son's school volunteering, which is fantastic. And before we started recording, I think it was before we started recording, you were describing how you've got a couple of 3D printers in the room that you're in right now, but your son has 3D printers in the room. You're not allowed to use them.
And you're not allowed to
Nope.
use them.
So I'm curious because I have 2 daughters, 13 and 11, 14 and 12. I don't know. They're somewhere in that range. I have tried over the years to kind of get them hooked on various science, technology, engineering type stuff. Mm-hmm. And there's a little bit of curiosity, but they're not embracing it the way, say, I did, remembering as a kid. Like, you give me a piece of electronics, I'm going to take it apart and end up with some parts left over when I'm done. So could you share a little bit about what does your son print? How did he get into 3D printing? Did you encourage that, or did he find it on his own? What's going on?
So I encouraged it. I was at the school and they have a program called Watch Dogs, which stands for Dads of Good Students. It's a dads only program where dads volunteer for a day, and they do stuff with their kids, but also just all throughout the school. So it's not just with Jackson's class. And I happened to be working in the library, and the school district had given the library a $2,000 3D printer, Dremel.
Oh yeah,
Can't think it. And it's like, okay, I remember Lockheed having them at the iLab, and I'd messed with them before. I saw them more than I got to use them. And then I found that there was just one printer in the library of a kid, school of 700 kids. They weren't actually getting to use it, and the librarian didn't really know how. And so I wanted to figure out and how to teach her, and then how to Jackson help her. The second grader come in and help the librarian run the 3D printer. And because he's the tech kid, he helps kids log onto their computers at school. He actually gets frustrated. They won't let me do my work. Everybody comes to me. How do I log in? What's my password? And just yesterday, he helped my wife connect her earbuds to her Bluetooth to her laptop. I get this picture. He's logging in and getting connected. And so I was like, okay, let's get one for the house. And I found one on Amazon for $150. It does 4 inches by 4 inches little, and I had to get him a separate laptop because he has a Chromebook and the software didn't work. I said, let's just mess with this. It comes with it, so it's got his own little 10-inch laptop, and just start figuring it out. And actually you just go to Thingiverse. There's every 3D model that you ever wanted, and look at what you want. You had to size it. You might have to proportion things if it's two different prints, and so he learns math, like divide it by 2 and divide it by 2 and scale it. And so I just got him into that. And then 2 days after we got the little one, he came home with like a handful of dollars. He had taken all these orders at school. I want a Pokemon. I want a dog. And so he has this list, this sticky note of orders.
And they pay him money.
Some people paid him. He's like, well, I just say you pay me whatever. He wasn't like saying it's $1 each. He was just like, if you want to pay me, that's fine. Whatever you think. And so some people paid him. Some people gave him a handful of change or $1. And so for like the last 3 weeks of school, he was going going back to school with like 10 different orders and then passing them out at school. And so he just kind of got doing that. And he's got a little savings account from birthday money and Christmas money. And about 3 weeks ago, he's like, well, I want to print bigger. And so he bought a longer Pro off Amazon, and it does a foot by foot by 16 inches. And that's what's...
Yeah, show the thing you showed us. That he printed
this is my little name tent Lego that he printed for me.
That's huge.
It took 2 days to print.
So for those that can't see, it is a giant Lego, the size of a mug in height at least, and each letter's probably about the width of a mug, like a coffee mug, and it's got Brian's name on it. And it took 2 days, so it was 48 hours of continuous.
And sadly,
printing?
the first time he tried to do it for Father's Day, and the black filament we had tangled, and so we woke up in the morning and it was just a mess, and so we had to start over. So I just bought a brand new roll, and it was 48 hours of continuous printing.
Man, how much infill did he use?
It's not much infill. It's pretty hollow.
That's what I mean. This isn't a 3D printing podcast, but I'm curious now. What was the original printer and what was the new one that you got?
So the original was an Intina 2. Like I said, it was $140 on Amazon, and it's about the size of a coffee maker, basically, and it's super easy to use. He can change the filament, add the filament, level the bed, and just got rocking with it. And this other one, he's just going crazy with. He actually got it, so I posted on Facebook as like my background, and a friend of mine that I don't know if you ever met Darren in Palmdale. He was in production control. Sean, Darren Catino.
No.
He's since moved back to Texas. He placed an order with Jackson, and he's got this huge telescope camera that he takes pictures of planets and the moon and nebula, and he needed some brackets to hold the wiring as the thing's taken. And I said, well, just go to Thingiverse and see if you send me like. And he sent me a picture, and Jackson that day printed him 4. Sent him like in production videos, like here's how I'm going to do it. Sent him, here's your first one. We mailed him the next day, and he got his first customer review that he posted on his YouTube page yesterday.
Nice customer review.
So he takes orders. He's in business. Actually, just today we have his approved jingle for Jackson's 3D World that he'll be adding to his videos. It's got a little 15-second jingle now.
Oh,
that's fantastic.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I think
right.
Jackson's clearly going to be the star of Distracted Inspiration.
Something.
Who
wrote the jingle?
That's so cool.
I use Fiverr. I don't know if you've ever seen that app called Fiverr, Fiver.
Yeah.
Kind of a gig economy type thing. And so for $40, $40 in 24 hours, he had this jingle.
No
It
kidding.
must be $5.
I paid for the longer one. It was like a 5-second one for like $5, and then
Okay.
Pay for the longer one, and it's fantastic. We actually just got it right before I logged on to this thing. It showed up on my phone. I said, "What do you think, dude?" And he's like, "Oh, it's awesome." And it's like a commercial quality jingle.
Really?
So what is
background singers and everything? Huh?
he got Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons on the jingle.
Yes.
What's his YouTube?
It's Jackson's 3D World.
Jackson's 3D World. All right. We'll see if we can link to it. We'll get at least 5 more people looking at it.
All right. He'll be super happy about that.
Yeah.
It's just, it's turned into this, but like back to your kind of original question, the intent was to get him off of Roblox and Minecraft on the laptop and have him figure out. And like I said, it was really cool. He printed one of my
real life build stuff.
That's right. And he did a friend of mine at work wanted a model of his Corvette, and so it required printing 4 tires and the body, but it was too big for his printer, so he had to figure out what's the percent I have to reduce it, and then reduce the tires the same so that it fits together. And you have to be real careful about printing too, because it prints from the bottom up, and if there's anything that hangs off out in cyberspace, then it just messes up. So it has to either have a support, and so he has to figure out how to best orient it in the program, and so it's served its purpose. That was the point. It's gotten a little out of hand with the jingle and everything, but it served its purpose.
It was a little out of scope.
It's natural evolution.
Go for it, man. It's gonna make some money.
I guess
Kid's gonna make some money.
I don't know if I'm dating myself, or maybe this is just the evolution of things, but I had a lemonade stand when I was about his age, and he's printing. I did not have a jingle. We did have to-go cups. Went to Taco Bell and got him to donate some cups with lids so we could send them off with people. But yeah, we weren't 3D printing anything, and I'm not even sure we made any money.
Our 3-year-old had a lemonade stand, and then Jackson had his 3D products on the table to sell as well with the 3D with the lemonade stand. So
of course, Pokemon.
Very entrepreneurial.
There's a snake and a Pokemon.
I have a friend that says, he thinks that 3D printers are going to be in every home, just like a microwave or anything else. Like, he's really.
It's interesting what you said about it prints from the bottom up, and so you really do have to kind of shift how you think about. Okay, wait a minute. This is going to print. Oh, that's especially letters. Like, oh, that letter, that font's not going to work in this orientation. I'm going to have to do something to change it. My daughter is a fan of the Roblox as well, so maybe I can still successfully convert her into some IRL activities.
I took a shot at it, right? And I thought, well, worst case, I waste $150, right? If he hates it or doesn't want to use it, and it's just turned into this. And like at school, when school's off right now, but before he was going in the library and helping the librarian start stuff. He was going on her laptop, pulling down the files, sizing it, and getting it started. So it worked. I was kind of a shot in the dark if he'd really get into it, and it's worked really well.
Well, I've got it all here, so it's just a matter of inspiring the interest. Well, cool. I guess that's see, if we change the name of the show, then we can't use the driving metaphors anymore. So I think that's about as good a place as any to start to park, not the distraction, but whatever it is we're driving.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, Brian? I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to all of our existing episodes, or some of them, but any other thoughts that you want to share along the lines of anything we've talked about before, or 3D printing?
No, I mean, I just think I like that. Rex, you're into all the different books, and it's kind of interesting you have those things, because I just think that's how to me, we break the status quo, because there's so much stuff out there, is to find the time
So much to learn.
to digest. And there's some stuff that is not very good. So I'm like 2 chapters in, you stop it, you delete it off your phone, you go to the next one.
Yeah.
Right. And, it may look like it's a lot of work or something that on LinkedIn I'm sharing, and all I'm really trying to do is solidify my learning. So I'll just give you a little hint. I'm glad that people like it and read it, but the idea is that I listen to it, and the fact that I'm trying to teach it via a quick post. Hey, it makes it stick in my head. This is cool. It stuck with me. Or this 90-day plan. Here's what I'm trying to do. I can memorize it. I know what it is. And I think all that content that's out there, just try to digest it, like this podcast or any other podcasts or books. And there's just so much out there to help kind of break through and drive change.
Yeah, it's easy to forget, and so posting it helps you learn it. I totally agree. I'm gonna start doing that more.
Yeah, I'll pause the book, and then I'll like go onto my notes, and I'll say just a couple things to remember. Like, that's a great point. I can use that. I make that comment.
That's great.
Because a lot of stuff I'm on LinkedIn is like pulling from an inventory. It's like, that was an idea. That's a good point. It's may not be in real time. It's just these thoughts that I've had. Or I'm trying, I'm experimenting at work with stuff. And so, it's just soak in all the content and then go try it and see how it works for you.
Yeah, I think I see your strategy now. I might adopt it. I can't tell you how many times I find something on LinkedIn. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I want to come back to this. I go off. I do other stuff. I go back on my phone. It's disappeared. Now I can't find it. I forgot who did it. But if you reshare it, now it's in your history of things.
Yeah.
All right.
That's another one.
Well, Brian Brooks, thank you for being with us on the podcast.
Yeah.
Great to talk to you.
Great.
And
thanks for having me.
I think that's it for this time, Rex. So I'm Sean Genovese.
Okay, good. Still. He hasn't changed. I'm still Rex Williams.
I would like,
but I'm a changed man because I learned some stuff from Brian Brooks.
I'd like to say we're going to end this episode. In fact,
but don't
go do it.